There has been a lot of interest in a series of pictures and videos that were allegedly shared by Shanquella's mother. The picture showed Shanquella and her best friends for the past 10 years. Interestingly, however, those friends were unaware of Kobo 6. Because they couldn't have done that over here, it seemed like a plot for them to do what they did, ma'am. Ma'am. Over here, they couldn't have done that. They couldn't have done that here, where all of her friends live. This reveals that her death was deliberate enough to get her out of the United States, where her actual pals were. Even her father said that the Cabo 6 planned to kill his daughter because they knew they couldn't have done it in the United States. Shanquella Robinson passed away nearly 3 months ago while traveling with friends in a group to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. She was 25 when she went on a trip to celebrate her friend's birthday. While she was there, the same friend brutally attacked her and left her for dead. On her 26th birthday, the Charlotte native family paid tribute to her memory and claimed they were still looking for answers and justice. Hundreds of balloons in memory of Robinson were thrown out at the event, which was held at Beatty Sport Memorial Gardens in North Charlotte by Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury. Many people attended the event, claiming that it was a birthday celebration for a person whose life touched so many. The closest friend of Shanquella, her real best friend, not the fake one, Shanquella, who was also present, stated that she continued to reflect on the experiences she had with her friend. High school spring break. Her favorite birthdays were during spring break. According to Shanquella, people talked about the times they spent with Shanquella. Near her grave, Godson of Shanquella took some of his first steps. Additionally, Bobby Collins stated that Shanquella had long desired to see his first steps. According to Collins, she was probably jumping for joy, as excited, content, and happy as ever. I adore you, Shanquella. No matter what, we will get Shanquella justice. People came to the event to remember the young girl who died and hasn't received the justice she deserves because her attackers are free to roam. When this tragedy occurred, Charlotte's family became the Robinsons. According to Mario Lopez, one of the event organizers, it is very important to ensure that hashtags are visible on social media. The general public has been able to keep the story going to the point where it started to gain momentum, despite the fact that there has been less attention paid to Shanquella's news. At her grave, flowers and balloons were also released by Shanquella's family and close friends. According to her mother, she is looking down on us. We have our ups and downs, but we're here to celebrate. She also mentioned the ongoing case of her daughter, which Mexican authorities are treating as a homicide, saying, "We have to try to stand strong for her." She would want us to remain resilient and persevere. We are awaiting news, and I am certain that it will occur. It will occur in God's time. All I'm waiting for is that. Before the balloon event, Shanquella held a memorial service at which dozens of people from her community, friends, and family came together to remember her. In honor of Shanquella, close friends and family attended her memorial service at the Macedonia Baptist Church in bright pink attire. Community members gathered as a horse-drawn carriage carried Robinson's colorful casket inside the church grounds at the beginning of the ceremony. As people wept for Robinson's beautiful life, the service was moving and emotional. Before closing the casket and concluding the ceremony, the choir sang a song about the crown as ushers walked down the aisle and placed a crown on Robinson's head. No one had been taken into custody for questioning, even though Shanquella's family was still celebrating the holidays with their families and mourning the loss of their daughter, Cabo 6. In November, the Associated Press reported that Mexican authorities were requesting the extradition of an unidentified female suspect and that charges had been brought against her. However, no arrests have been made public, and Robinson's family is still waiting for information from authorities in the United States. The suspects returned to the United States after fleeing Mexico, knowing full well that they were the only ones who knew what happened and that they had killed their friend. They deleted their social media accounts and lied about what actually happened, including the fact that the woman who was brutally hitting Shanquella was Jenny. She works in the health department, so she could have assisted Shanquella if she had wanted to, but she did not. Instead of speaking out and allowing Shanquella's story to be told, they did not. Alice, another cable friend who worked in healthcare, is the same way. Shanquella had also traveled to the trip with Khalil, her best friend, who was supposed to care for Shanquella. He, on the other hand, was the one who lied to Shanquella's family about their daughter's death by calling them. The hotel maid is said to have discovered Robinson unresponsive and called a doctor. Additionally, despite the doctor's attempts at CPR, she was declared dead. Salamander, Shanquella's mother, received a phone call from her daughter's best friend claiming that Shanquella might have been poisoned by alcohol. Considering that a doctor had not yet examined her daughter, she became suspicious. Salamander claims that Kahlo informed her that the friend's doctor recommended that the Winston-Salem State alum be taken to the hospital, but that the $5,000 fee was too much. After that, Salamander tried to persuade them by claiming that her daughter had insurance, but Kahlo countered that the facility only accepted cash. Unexpectedly, Salamander received a call from an unknown number stating that they were fighting that girl as she was grieving. They were fighting with her over there. Why they keep talking about alcohol poisoning is beyond me. Shanquella's mother confronted the girls about the information she had received when the friends visited her Charlotte, North Carolina residence. They began to weep, claiming that there had not been a fight, rather than simply telling the truth. They even had the bravery to plan what they would wear to Shanquella's funeral while sitting around the family. The autopsy was sent to Shanquella's family as they were making arrangements for her funeral. According to the death certificate, Shanquella died from a severe spinal cord injury, atlas subluxation, and a dislocated neck. After suffering the aforementioned injuries, Shanquella passed away approximately 15 minutes later. Additionally, the report stated that Cabo 6 initially asserted that alcohol poisoning caused her baffling demise. Their lives were jeopardized, however, when footage of a fight between Shanquella and two other women and the autopsy were shared on social media. A naked woman was repeatedly struck in the video, as observers urged Quella to fight back, out of frame. None of them were able to put an end to the fight because Shanquella refused to respond. They simply observed, recorded, and observed as their friend's life vanished. After watching the video of Shanquella's father repeatedly hitting his daughter while she was naked, he was disturbed.